Hi, Hayden here, and this video is going to be kind of a property update. Show you some of the things I did over there behind me. We'll get closer to that. It's a big pile. Oh, I'm not wearing my microphone on there, so I'm counting on the microphone. And this is my camcorder, not my cell phone. So anyways, I'm kind of beat because of that work over there. It's Central Florida in the summer, hot and humid and all that. But I have to use the tractor here to go do a part of this job because these logs are too heavy. So hang on a second, let's go take a look at what I'm talking about. And then we'll go look at that pile that's going to be a burn coming up probably tomorrow. All right, hang on. Hey, before we go over and see what I did today, I want to show you some of the things I did yesterday. That's a bunch of stuff on the ground. You can get my hand in a picture there. That's a bunch of stuff on the ground right there that I did yesterday. I just kind of dropped it. And all out there underneath these trees and stuff like that, I've been clearing this area out. This is that formerly overgrown field. It's got a field of grass growing in there now. I just need to keep it real low because it gets real wet out there. Different kind of soil, I guess. But I'm cleaning all this out, and right now you can kind of see through the trees. But later on you'll be able to see clear through that, and then I'll be working on clearing out this winter. I'll be working on clearing out this the undergrowth of that part of the property there. And then I got this kind of hanging limb right there. Where is that thing? Bring it in the shot. Anyway, somewhere over here there's a hanging limb just hanging there. That's dangerous, but nobody's out here, so if they are, they kind of deserve what they get. But no trespassing. Anyway, so but I'll be up there and cutting that down and picking up the rest of this stuff I dropped on the ground yesterday. Now let's go take a look at what I've been working on today. Actually, this part of the video is going to explain exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing now. This branch right here is stealing the focus, right? Stealing focus of the job I did back there, clearing that out. I actually need to trim this tree here to get these low-hanging branches out of the way so that we can admire what I've been doing out there in the field, because you really can't tell. Now over here, you can see over here fine, right? But there's a tree over there that's got a whole bunch of low-hanging stuff that prevents us from seeing over into this area. So I got to trim that tree over there, this tree right here, and a whole bunch of other trees, some of which will, you know, I'll smack my head on them, even on the lawnmower. Right now I'm sitting on a tractor, or standing on a tractor. Let me sit down here, and you know, so now let me go show you. I only took down just two branches today, but they're huge. They're like, each branch is like the size of a tree, all right? So hang on. All right, we're over on the other side of the barn now, so I'll turn around and show you the barn. So there's the barn, and you see those above my head there. Yeah, let me do this a different way, flip this around a little bit. All right, there's the tree limbs up there that need to be trimmed back, okay? On the other side of the barn, there are, flip this around, let me get around in front again. On the other side of the barn, there are actually limbs, you know, there's a whole bunch of leaves and stuff like that, and it's actually mossy stuff kind of growing up there now. So I got to get rid of that. Now another thing I want to point out right here behind me is a power pole. We got our own power pole on the property. We actually have two power supplies coming in from the street on the property here. One's over by the house, and then one here's by the barn. It's got its own meter and everything else on it. But then there's a whole bunch of limbs and everything growing up into the, you know, over there by the power pole, and I got to trim those down. There's no power coming to the pole right now. They cut the power off the street, so the power's off right now. But I do need to trim some of these back. You know, but they're going to be a kind of a trip, kind of a further down the road kind of thing. And some of these limbs need to be trimmed down too on these trees that are right here. And of course, this is by the barn. Now, what I want to do is talk about two limbs I cut down today. And I'm going to go back behind the camera, but they're over here by the Kubota, by the tractor. So let's go ahead and get me behind the camera. Flip my thing around so I can see what I'm talking about. All right, so there's two limbs over here. And you see where this high grass is over here, hopefully. That high grass is part of kind of what's going on here. Okay, so these are the part of the limb of the tree here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections, and they're too heavy for me to lift. Even though I cut them up smaller, I don't want to hurt myself, so I'm going to use the tractor. I put the tractor bin down and just roll them in there and take them over to the fire pit. We'll see in a little bit. Now this is the size of this limb that I cut, all right? And then there's another limb over here, and I'll tell you about that too. This limb right up here, you see the fresh cut on there. All right, so these are the two limbs I cut down. And you see this tree is like really leaning over to the right. We got a couple of trees that do that around here. And I don't think it's very good for the tree. I mean, that limb over there is really pretty much, let me see, that limb right there is pretty much dead. That limb is dead, that skinnier one. So, you know, we got to properly trim these things back or the tree will actually end up dying because it'll become sick and it can't support itself. And then eventually it'll just fall over. Now, these are the back fields over here. And you see why I call this muddy field. I mean, this is a big bunch of water right here, right? There's another limb fell down over there. But that part of the field over there where the grass is, that's pretty darn wet too, all right? And then back over there in the distance, on the other side of that fence, where you see all the growth right there, there's a fence, and the growth is on the fence. But I'm going to be removing that entire fence, so this is going to be one big field. And it's going to look more like, kind of like that situation over there, right? You're going to be able to see right through it, and it'll be all grass. Be real nice. But that's what I'm working on. This video, of course, is about these limbs. And the reason why I'm cutting these down is because they keep too much sun from getting to the ground here and being able to dry it up. There's a big canopy of shade right here. So I need to work on getting this cleaned up, you know, and dried up so it's not such a muddy mess. I think that palm tree's in bad shape. That's unfortunate. Also because it's by power line. Anyway, so, so that's what we're working on. This area here is getting cleaned up. Around there's a tree that's just not going to make it there. So I'll trim that out and get rid of that. And that palm tree, I'm going to trim that back a lot and see how that goes. There's some palm things going over here. And palm trees beget palm trees. They keep dropping more palm trees. But I got to clean those out so that the one that's there and growing well can continue to do so. And there's some other palm stuff trying to grow over there. All right, so I'm going to load up the tractor and take these limbs over, and I'll show you what I did today. And then after that, I'm going to have a review video. Then I'll make a standalone video on it, on the tool that I used, the chainsaw that I used to actually make all these cuts. All right, so hang on, let's go look at the fire pit. Okay, before we head out over here and go over to the fire pit, just wanted to show you, my hands on the microphone there. But anyways, this is the rut. Yep, it's pretty deep. All right, so anyways, that's what the muddy field's all about, right? So anyways, during the winter months, I'll be doing some, I'll be taking some action to hopefully get this thing nice and smooth, clear up the branches a bit so we can get things cleaned up and get the sun hitting the ground a little bit better so we don't have so much dampness out here all the time. For the field itself, the idea is keep the grass real short, as short as possible, about 2 inches. I can go a little bit lower, but the field is real bumpy, so I got to try to see if I can smooth that out. Anyways, let's go take a look at the fire pit. All right, so here's the burn pile, and these are some of the limbs that I cut off right here. I'll have to make that other video and then link back to this video to demonstrate what I can do with that thing. Anyways, and then there's the burn pile. Now, this is most of those 2 limbs here. All the leaves. Once you get rid of all the leaves, and then here's some more leaves on the branches here. Once you get rid of that, then it's really, just a matter of cutting up the logs and getting them ready for the burn pit. So there's the burn pit. It's less than 8 feet wide. It's less than an 8-foot wide circle, and we keep it all dirt around the outside. And before I do a burn, I make sure I get all that trimmed up and everything else. And basically, the entire property over here is grass sitting on top of sand. So if we start scraping away at this grass anywhere, it's all going to be sand. That's all sand underneath there. Now I want to show you a special set of guest stars that we have today. Hang on a second, let me get a little closer to them. Okay, the goats are back. So the goats are hanging out, having some snacks. I'm very happy to see that. There's 5 of them. There's 5 goats over here. All right, this is the leader, apparently. He's coming over, he's going to sniff me. All right, so this is great. This, you see the 2 tracks right here where the fence posts used to be? This used to be called the road to nowhere. And what I did is I took the fence out over there so that the goats can go through the fence without having to walk over to that gate over there. Keeps them further away from the main road. This is a private road over here, and these are my goats, my neighbor's goats. Hi, handsome. How you doing? Hi. All right. Hi. Sniff, 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 sniff. Oh, what a good boy. A good boy. A good goat. Anyway, so him and his little family over here are over here helping us out with the lawn care. We're not paying you for it, but you get free unlimited salad bars as often as you would like. All right? Good goat. All right, so, and then there's the fire pit from a distance. All right, looks like it's getting ready to rain, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Don't forget to give me that thumbs up, like this video. Drop a comment below, let me know you came by to say hi. And if you haven't already, please already subscribe to the channel. And until I catch you in the next one, take care and be well.